All the stars, they faded, 'cause they don't wanna see what we've done. And who could blame them, who wanna shine their light on us? And if the sky drained into the empty space between my heart and my brain, your mind view would fall away.
Hello all you beautiful and gorgeous people out there. How are you guys doing? Thank you so much for watching all my previous videos. From zero, I have got 15 to 20 subscribers on YouTube right now, and a lot of love and support which is poured on to my Facebook page. I'm really thankful to God to have such a virtual reality or a Facebook family, if you may say. But I'm genuinely happy, like you have to act when you're vlogging or whatever. But I'm just pouring my heart out like I did in my very first vlog and talking to you guys. So I'll be scratching my face, picking up my bottle of water and drinking. So this is just a very informal conversation. I've tried my level best to be tried my level best to be formal as far as meeting was concerned, as far as job was concerned, as far as going in meeting a girl for a marriage proposal concerned, but I can never be formal. So anyways, so before we start off with whatever we are about to vlog, a very big shout out to Yusuf. Yusuf is like a brother to me, a younger brother. He works for Nikon, arguably one of the best technically sound guys and versatile guys as far as cameras, lenses, ISO, aperture, shutter speed and all that jazz is concerned. He works for Nikon. He got me hooked up to the Nikon in the office in Bombay. I went up to him. He got me this camera, and whatever recording you're seeing right now is an absolute HD. So a big shout out to Yusuf and a big shout out to the Nikon India team for giving me this camera. So this camera which I'm vlogging with right now is a Nikon D5300 with a 18 to 140 millimeter lens and a nice small microphone on top so that my voice is absolutely clear while I'm vlogging and talking to you guys. So having mentioned Yusuf and Nikon, I'll move on to the next thing, which is the topic of the vlog. So what is the topic of the vlog? The topic of the vlog is novels. Now why novels? Because I love collecting them. I've got old and new book combination. I've got like around about 250-300 novels as of now. Obviously don't be scared. I'm not going to review all of them and waste your time. I've just got a few selective few ones which I would suggest you guys read. These are quite entertaining and I have loved them. I've kept them with me for a very long time. So 250, so the few are here which I'm about to review and show it to you guys. Balance, I don't know, fathers kept it somewhere, mothers kept it somewhere, so I'm absolutely unaware of where these books are. Now, even before we start, and guys, I'm very passionate about whatever I vlog, whatever I get involved into. So when I start speaking to you guys, there's no script as such. I just want to interact with you guys or through this camera. So it's quite weird right now, but I'm looking into a lens and talking and imagining as if I'm talking to you guys, or imagining sorry, as if there's a huge congregation of people and I'm talking to them. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is that today, if you see all the evil doings in the world, as far as terrorism is concerned, ill treatment of women is concerned, lack of child education, lack of hygiene, pollution of oceans, pollution of drinking water, lack of drinking water, deforestation, and the list goes on. The reason because we have all these evils in our society is, there are two reasons to it, there's no one. So two reasons. Reason number one is that lack of education, and reason number two is there is no communication as such. Okay, so why do I say lack of education? Lack of education is because when a person is educated, and I am not talking about today it is so funny. Today people feel that when they see western sitcoms or by heart lyrics of western music, they feel they're educated. I'm so sorry, that is not education. That is what my point of view is, that I feel that's not education, is because you're blindly absorbing someone else's culture. just a minute. Which you're not born into, which is not prevalent anywhere around you. Education, by what I mean, is that some knowledge that you get. That's the reason why we have a proper syllabus. We've got subjects like geography, history, chemistry, physics, biology, and all these things. Why? Because they challenge our brain to work harder, to get matured. I'm talking about the brain, okay? And to start questioning and to start reasoning. So when a person starts questioning, when the person is reasoning, he does not stop at school or college. He will question and reason religious texts, age-old traditions, and so many other malpractices which happen in society as such, and also in any religion in general. Now what happens is that as far as all these evils are concerned, it is caused because there is radicalization of people happening, and radicalization and brainwashing of people can only happen when you are an uneducated person. That means that you don't have the capability of reasoning. You will just listen to someone who's giving a speech and get radicalized and then do shit. So that is the reason why you need to be educated. And second is communication. Effective communication is something which is very important in today's day and age. It was very important since the time Adam started communicating with God, and it will be important till doomsday. So communicating with each other in a proper manner. So say for example, I'm an educated person. I know what are the ill effects, I know what is right, what is wrong. So I need to communicate it properly to people who aren't educated but are still following these age-old traditions. You're getting my point? So I feel personally that being educated and having a skill, or probably developing a skill of effective communication, is two most important things to eradicate all these evils from our society. Now why am I talking about all these things and how is it related to my vlogs? Is because I love reading. I started reading, I started questioning everything, I started reasoning everything. People started getting upset, but then I knew what the right answer was. And how did I get this habit of reading? Is because I started reading novels. I got that patience of reading of pages after pages after pages. And today, although the time schedule and everything, my novel reading time has gone down drastically, but then it helps me pick up a newspaper and see what's happening, have a very healthy discussion or debate with people as to what's right, what's wrong. So that is where I'm coming from. Anyways, so let's get down to the interesting part of the vlog. Now how did this novel ka thing started? Sorry, I know the bottle is very big, but I'm so habituated to drinking like 5 to 6 liters of water every day that I carry this bottle with me everywhere. Anyways, so what happened was that my father was a chronic novel reader, and then we had this small showcase in our house. So just to give you a basic background, my father's All India Source retired forest officer, and we used to get transferred every 3 years. So the little showcase, it used to travel with us everywhere. It was full of novels and very nicely, neatly stacked up, like the way you see here. So this is especially I've stacked it up so that I can give you guys a demo of how it looked like in the showcase. And I always used to be very amused, I was like, what are these books with different colors and designs and all these things? And I was like, 10, 11 years old. Years passed by, I was it was like a no thing, and a no-go zone and a danger territory sort of a thing to touch those books. Years passed by, and when I was like 14, 15 years old, mom and dad had some work, so they were like, these guys have grown up. Me and my sister was also, my sister was like 3 years younger to me. They were like, these guys are all grown up, and they had some emergency, some work, so they left us and they went to Bombay. I think this was when I was like 14, 15 years old. So I went to the showcase and I was like, now is the opportunity. And I had always had that habit of, if you tell me something that don't do it, I'll always end up doing it. Even today I have that habit. So I'm like, let's go, let's open up the showcase, let's see what is there inside, and I've been eyeing that red colored book. Let me see what is it. what does it have? The showcase that my father and mothers told me, like, don't go near it. It's a big no-no. You're not supposed to read any of those books or whatever. But cut to my childhood. I was obviously, I would say quite a, I won't say unique. Unique, if I say, I'll be, trying to talk big about myself. I wouldn't say unique. I would say I was a bit different. I used to daydream a lot, about adventures, about wearing my father's hat, about driving his jeep, and going, finding trouble, getting a good kick out of my adventure, whatever. While people would play cricket and other stuff, I would like chase grasshoppers, try and catch dragonflies, chase behind butterflies, watch squirrels on top of a tree, follow my pet cat in the grass and all that jazz. So that is how my childhood was. So I was always keen, and we used to like I mentioned, we used to be transferred like every 3 years. So my best friend were my books. So every place that we went, we always stayed in like a tier 2, tier 3 city. So every place that we went, we hired a library first, and then we went on books and everything. So Phantom and Mandrake and all these guys were there whom I could relate to, as a kid. So anyways, cut to that thing. Then I opened up the showcase, and the very first book that my eye went on was a book called A Time to Die. The author is Wilbur Smith, and I'm like, A Time to Die, it's quite unique, what would it be? So I'll just tell you guys that I have that book with me here. The book is called Wilbur Smith, A Time to Die. And I'm like, who's gonna read such a fat book? Oh, this is so boring, and there are no pictures in it. I'm like, shit, all this excitement is for nothing. So I'm like, what is there in this? Let's read what is it. So I'll just read out. This was exactly what was written. This is a comparatively new book. No, I think this is the old copy. Yeah, this is the old copy. This is the Pan Macmillan copy. You guys remember in the earlier days when we never had anything called as the, I don't know whether the camera is getting this. But anyways, I'm trying to tell you guys is that you guys remember in the old days when we had, we didn't have a barcoding system here, but these zebra stripes came in and we were like, oh my god, this is something imported. So this is that book, imported one. So it reads out the the gist of the book reads out, and I'll try and put in as many emotions as possible in this. So it says, the lion charged. He came straight at them out of the thicket as his mate had done, but even more swiftly, driven by the agony in his belly and the black rage that filled him. He came grunting like a locomotive at full throttle, and they were unprepared, their rifles unloaded, bunched too closely together. I'm like, what the hell did I read? Is this serious? Is it about like lions and rifles and jungles and everything? I was like so hooked on. I'm like, no man, I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read this book. And I read this book, and that is how I got addicted to Wilbur Smith, and that is how I got addicted to reading adventurous novels. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna cut short this video, and the next video will not have my face, which you're bored of by now. So it will only have the books which I'm about to suggest, and a few recommendations here and there. So I hope you enjoyed this part and this aspect of the video and my short little story. I'll see you on the other side with the books. Thanks.
All the stars, they faded, 'cause they don't want